Okay, so yeah, as we're talking about, so yeah, and so that importance of portfolio mind, and that's what makes you feel like sometimes if you actually take a paper and a pen and write down what assets you have, you won't know until you take that. You will just feel like I don't have anything, but because you are not liquid, you always feel like I don't have something. And so if we could all do that exercise this evening, where just bring out a paper and a biro. Let's say you own a house. Just you even write it under asset, for example. Ivanika, are you trying to say something? I see you as green, but I don't know if you're talking. Let me know. If anybody's just cut me at any time if you have any question. But
No, go ahead. No, no, no. I was
okay.
just trying to see if I could see any record thing.
Oh, okay. And so the what I want us to do is take a pen and a paper, just start writing down anything that belongs to you, even a piece of jewelry. And I'll come to that because it's also part of a portfolio because we don't count some of those things sometimes, but it is. And I would share an example of how one time I there was a time I was so intoxicated with Dubai that I keep going back there. And let's say that year one had gone, and then my 10th time of going, I had a piece of jewelry that had broke and I wanted to replace it. I didn't even think of selling it, just to replace it. And then I got back there and I was like, oh, I wanted to replace this. And the guy was like, the design is old, I should just trade it in and change it. And this thing had appreciated over 100%. And I'm not kidding. And for me, it just blew my mind that, that piece of jewelry that you toss into your hair, that maybe at the time you got it 200. And you guys, you recall that Naira was made sense then. So if I drop figures, it's just because then Naira was very good, right? So let's say you bought it $100 and that thing had appreciated to $200. So take a pen and a paper, start writing it. And I could give us countless examples of, what an asset. Don't think of big things. Anything that has a for sale value. And let me explain. Um, I don't know, maybe it's not a common concept in Nigeria for my sisters that are in diaspora. Even people's household items, I realized that that concept of people who just do yard sale. A cup, they can just decide, even if it's 1 cent, they are still getting value back from it. And Diva Denike or any of my diaspora, Diva Wendy, you can chip in and see if you've had that experience, right? Where people kind of like bring out old stuff from their, or even through Facebook Market, sell off things. I recently, yeah, exactly. Mhm. Yes, yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Unless God is leading you, you can't. And in fact, if I do this thing you said, 2023, I changed from I think 14 to 16 then. And I put 550 on Facebook. People reached out to me, Facebook Market reached out to me. Oh, they were pricing it low, giving me offers. And then I went to my friend's side, which is in Calgary, and I was like, oh, she should just help me sell it there. I think their own market. And the person did not even price. Let's say you had put 600 with the mindset that somebody can come and price. Oh, so let me just put what's it called? 600. And the person did not price. So I sold that, and my friend sent me that $600 money. I recently moved out as well, and the couch we're using in our basement, it wouldn't fit our basement in the new house. And I put it on Facebook Market. They didn't even price me. They didn't even give me a new offer. I got the money. And it feels good because like it's something that you could have just junked outside your home, right? And so that's why I want us to do this exercise. And if we can unmute ourselves, maybe, share experiences like that, write it down so that you don't start feeling like, oh, I'm not where I want to be. Sometimes taking stock of where you are can also help people. Just so you can start knowing that, oh, actually, I'm not there yet, but I'm also not doing badly. I have a house to your name. I have this car to your name, and it's not easy. Like how much it takes to buy a certain asset. So write it down. Um, like a fashion pop-up sales, yes. Yeah, thanks. Well, Laura, do you have anything to share that, or any other person too? If you have anything at all you want to share, I think it's just to get us thinking that when we think of investment or something, we should not always hang it, up as it has to be something big, right? You know. So I
Yeah.
want this to be very collaborative, sisters. Don't leave only me. There's no pastor here. Yeah, the Valara, go ahead.
Yeah, so to be honest, apart from my normal, my daughter Fekemi, so she came up and told me that there's Vinted. So she sells. I think I gave her one dress one time. It was a bit big, and she's like, "Guess what, mom? I sold it on Vinted." I'm like, "How?" She said, "You just list things up there. I mean, you can sell household things, you can sell different things, and she gets things from Vinted." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So yes, I definitely reckon with stuff like that. And yeah, so different means of selling things. So it's a good thing. And the gold one definitely a yes, yes, yes. So
Thanks, sis, for adding that perspective. Any other person? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you. So yeah, do let's do that exercise, because I feel like that is going to be helpful. Um, so maybe one thing we can use the next couple of meetings is a bit of like brainstorming as to what we want the strategy of this group to be. Do we want us to share skills? And what do I mean by share skills? Like, do we want, to put in topics that we would want to know more about? Okay, I want to know about investing in stocks, or I want to know about investing in, ETS or anything at all, even crypto, right? I want to know about that, because I've been hearing. So maybe if we kind of don't even know what the best way to do this is, if we should, maybe if we say it and then we'll take a note, or if we should type it and then we can copy it and paste somewhere, so that will guide us for future discussions. So I would leave the room open for us to talk about, especially for people that said knowledge, for example, what sort of knowledge, are you using, are you looking to get from this group? What would be a useful yeah, knowledge to share? So I'll take a pause for comments. You're free, you're free.
So good afternoon, everyone. No, good evening, everyone. So the question, not a question, something you said about having things not necessarily big, but some things that may have secondhand value that can bring in money. Like, I never saw it as that. I never saw investment as that. I never saw investment as that. So when you mentioned the jewelry, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, me too. I have something more, that But I think beyond that, for me, one of the things I want to learn is, you mentioned something about managing your portfolio and diversifying.
Mhm.
So it's, for me, I think I want to know more about what can I diversify into. Um,
Okay.
there are a few, and I know that the market is different from, but I'm sure they all align one way or the
Mhm.
other.
True.
There are
Yep.
places where I've heard, oh, you have a high yield savings account, or you have some, other kind of accounts. Like you
Mhm.
mentioned, some accounts the bank will pay you back, some accounts you pay the bank back with
Mhm.
interest. So
Mhm.
I think for me, it is understanding the various types of portfolios that I can possibly, develop for myself and have that growth. And then I know I've come to understand that I'm not looking for money doubling, as it were. I just want something that is consistent, and yeah, possibly other means of um, wealth, income, or streams of other streams of income. Yeah.
Yes. Interesting. I will let you
Rara,
know about the risk too. So because if there's, it's a general saying, right? Like no risk, no reward. So you don't have to go extreme, but you also don't have to stay in the, because the way we look at it, you have to look at the way you look at portfolio, before Diva Dupe, makes more comments, is look at your age and where you are in life, and also your ability to withstand, what's it called, things that could happen. Let me give an example. Let's say you're in a household where one person is an entrepreneur, the other person is a salary earner, right? It means you have one fixed income, you have one variable income. The fixed income is always a constant, such that, I mean, all things being equal, there's no lay off, there's no accident that could stop that work. You're always going to get it. So let's say in a 12-year period, you're planning, because in that home, you know that even if the other person makes sales, or, renders or does or does not render a service in their entrepreneurial journey, whatever you have under the fixed would already support the home. So let's say the cost of running your home is $1,000 or 1,000 naira. I'm just throwing words out there, in a month, and the person that earns a fixed income, net of that, you already getting 2,000, such that the 1,000 covers your bill, and the extra 1,000 you can even use it for, the nice to haves, the extra investment, and maybe family members or anything you're supporting, right? If you're in that kind of household, it means that the chance of being able to take risk is higher, right? And let me explain what I mean by that. It means that if the person who is doing the entrepreneurial work, for example, has a 1 month where something extra comes in, say 2,000, right? So this $2,000 comes in, they didn't plan for it. Of course, they're trusting God that our income will be steady, but it's not. So this $1,000 comes in. They don't know when the next one is coming in, because they don't know when they will get the next client, right? That 2,000, you can split it into two and take a higher risk with it. And by higher risk, I don't mean go crypto like I did, or go, which eventually paid off this year, but it didn't pay off last year, right? But I'm not saying going to that extreme, but I'm saying just keep it within, but not also too bearish, where you just put it in fixed deposit and you are making next to nothing. If you're in Nigeria, you could put it in treasury bills. Some treasury bills are getting up to 15%. That makes sense. So the point I'm trying to make with that, thing is, because your income can support that kind of, right, then do it. But when I say investment, please, we do not in any way in this group involve any sort of investment that is like, what they call all those things, yeah, MMMM, MMM, MMM. It's three.
Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi, please. Mm-mm. I personally, maybe because of I'm a CFA charter holder, I am not allowed to invest in Ponzi scheme. It's almost like I could lose my certification if I am. So I don't do Ponzi scheme. So whatever we are discussing, I don't. I mean, I will not say that don't do it, but I'm just saying, like, for the purpose of this platform, Ah, it will
It
shock
does,
you,
though.
sister.
It
Maybe
exists.
one land on again earlier this year in the battle. It will shock you, because you see all those things on social media. You never know. I didn't even know this when it breaks. You will not know until it breaks off. Abi, what's the word? You until it land on
Yeah,
before you invest
and
in
I
it.
think it exists because um it is the same thing but different products. So people get carried away with, oh, it's not the same methodology, but if you look at it closely, it's still the same. Go bring somebody, and then you make this money, and then all that.
Yeah. So yeah, please, we will not consider that one, because I've seen people smile and I've seen people laugh and be premium tears. So me, I don't. Because God forgive me, and apologies to anybody who did and got themselves burnt. But I used to say something to my closer friends that if they should catch me that day, that it would just be so embarrassing for me. Like, with all the level of knowledge you have, you enter this one chance, right? And yeah, like even last year, to be honest, I I could be vulnerable here. There were some the is laughing. There were some very high level sort of Ponzi scheme. I don't even know if that one is Ponzi scheme or if this is fraud or it's almost the same thing. And I had some coins. So when I say coins, I had bitcoins. And these people reached out that they are a liquidity provider. And so what they say they do is they use your coin to provide liquidity to the market. And based off of that, you are paid interest. Hmm. So I was like, oh, honestly, I don't know. That's why we have to also pray when it comes to investment too. So I went, researched, did all sorts. I was like, okay, the market needs liquidity and all of that. As I put my money, every day they will post interest. Sisters, I am not kidding you. Let's say I put $1,000. That money grew. I was seeing $6,000. I was like, hey, I called my friend that but he makes 6,000. $6,000. Well, I know it was paper money. That was how the old thing. So that thing, I think is even, I just need being. It's probably Ponzi. There's no other way to describe it. I think it's Ponzi scheme. Because if I look at it now, anything fraudulently related is Ponzi scheme. And it was audio money. I have screenshots. It was so bad. Like when the whole thing happened, I wrote to FBI itself in the US because it's a US company. I wrote to them, put all of the details, put all of their URL. Of course, they said they will investigate, but like they will first tell you so that they don't even hack your phone. First, delete everything related to them once you send the email. Anyways, what am I trying to say? If you do not understand the English of the investment, first step is do not invest. So seek knowledge first, so that it not be like, my friend invested $1,000 for me. You don't even know what it is. You don't even know if somebody explains. Oh, okay. So how is the money being made? You cannot even explain it. So yeah, and it comes in different forms. It comes in different forms. Um, yeah, I don't know if Diva Nike or Diva Dupe or any other person in diaspora experienced calls. You know when you say fraud. I never experienced fraud as much as I have experienced it. Maybe not like it's happening, but like calls. You just be getting calls that, oh, you should click on a link. You should, CRA is calling you. Tax people are doing this. Oh, immigration needs your this thing because they know you're an immigrant.
Yeah, yeah. And also because I'm in cybersecurity world, right? There's something called peak butchering. And that
Mm-hmm.
they used it a lot, I think earlier this year or towards the end of last year. And it starts with a text message. Oh, I didn't see you today. And it's from a
Mm.
random number. And then you will now be tempted to say, what do you mean? Who is this? And then the person
Exactly.
will go, oh, I thought you were my work colleague.
Oh,
And then
wow.
you'll be like, oh, no, I'm not. And then the person keeps your number, and in their own, you would think that they are being, what's it called? That they are being friendly. So they reach out to you today, tomorrow, and then you develop a relationship. Before you know it, they will tell you, oh, they are investing in stocks. Like you rightly said, then they
Mhm.
show you the platform. You might start with something small, and after a while, you realize that, oh, the thing is growing. There are people who've lost their retirement money on that. And the funny thing is, not everybody that happens to talk about it because of the embarrassment, right? But it happens a lot.
Mm. Thanks for sharing. Have you got this card before? Oh yes, 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 yes. And like Divanika said, even retirees, there was there was this movie. Did you all watch Beekeeper? That one hurts me so badly. I don't,
Yes, I did. I saw
ah,
that one.
that
Yeah.
was bad. Like just something similar. They called the woman who had
Mhm.
invested, and they just had and they can. In fact, the way it works, they will just tell you, oh, give me access to. They will send you something and tell you that you have a virus. You want to click it to like clean. They'll say clean because the virus will crash your computer. That's all it takes. So yeah, I think a click. Yeah.
And I know that there are legitimate businesses out there. It's just like you mentioned, understanding it, and if it's too good to be true, I believe it's just too good to like that's what it is. It's not
Yeah.
true. If it's too good to be true,
It's
if you
not
don't
true.
have to do, yeah, it's not true. If you don't have to do much and it's just free money, my sister, look at it very low. It's not genuine. I mean, you may get away with it, but if you look at it closely, it's not genuine. So as much as possible, I think for me, I just want that safety net of, okay, even if it is $20 I'm going to be putting into this account, it's
Mm.
promising me of a 4.05 interest, for whatever it is. I know that, okay, or compounding interest, I know that, okay, my money is being compounded at the end of the year. I know. And I said it because earlier this year, I opened an account, right? And I was just take every I scheduled it to the point where it takes out $75 from me every other week.
Oh, wait.
$75. So, and the way it was, they're like, oh, if you know how to invest, you manage it yourself. If you don't know, they will automate it for you. So I just selected random stuff for them to invest it in. And by last week, I looked at it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I had money. Like, I'm like, oh, the $75 actually accounted for something.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
those are the kind of things I'm thinking, okay, if I can get more of that, it doesn't have to. Now I'm thinking, okay, maybe now that I have one, let me open one for my son. Let me, things like that.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, sis. Because honestly, where that thing you touched on, compound interest, is something that as we go on in this group, I would want us to really uncover. Because that's the magic. You would think, oh, it's just $7 I have extra, and just put it first. Put it first. I did talk about some sort of like, actually all those accounts that you're not looking at, just be putting it towards the end of the year, just checking. You would be shocked at the level of growth. And I think God's Own Diva also has like a monthly contribution in Naira, that people do exactly. I've forgotten the name we call it, but by Christmas, eh, jewels, yes, jewels. I don't know how many of us subscribe to it. It's a very good way of, at the end of the year, you want to buy gifts for people, or even you want to look at that, or you want to even invest it for the next year. But I find it a very good source of, investment. Surely, for anybody that has Naira and wants, some sort of extra, and maybe we can start considering it or scaling it even to people in the diaspora. But yes, for me, small things make a difference rather than, hey, I want to start. We'll set that goal 2026 is just in 3 months, right? October, yeah, it's just in 3 months. Just in 3 months. So I think we should start rounding up, so that we'll go back to the room. I have taken portfolio management as one of the topics that we want to. Okay, so I am writing it down. Okay, so please, anybody chime in, type it, whatever it is you want us to touch on in this group. And if you can add, what's your, I know we said one word, but what's your goal? If you can add a goal, that would be helpful. But in the absence of that, I will still use that one word, that we've all used. I know I have knowledge, I have scaling up. So multiple streams of income, I have noted. Portfolio management, I have noted. Okay, and I'll be giving assignment too. So it's not like people are just coming, because the only way you can practice something is if it's immersive, like you are all talking, and you never know, your own experience could help us. So don't think it's one person that have it. Divanika just shared something. Exactly. Yes, so yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Thank you, thank you. Exactly. Sounds- Yeah, yeah. Mm, okay. Mm, Yes, yes, you won't feel it. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think we're at time, sisters. Any other comments? Let me go and do my own one paper. Holding me down. Party is in my body. Do we have any other comments, questions, whatever? We want to add. Some people I did not hear their
Thank
voice
you.
all
Thank you
through.
so much.
No, no worries, no worries. Diva Adepola, do you know if we're going back to the main room? Okay, so maybe it's time to go back. So we can join the main group. So, oh yeah, okay, you guys can be talking. No, me, my body is here. Just be talking. Let me getting ready. Let me wear my shoe. Mhm, 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 mhm. Yeah, and that brings me to something that I was also trying to bring up. I felt like we shouldn't just go straight into it. With this thing you just touched on how to like bucket the kind of investment. So this short term, mid term, long term is one of the key things that we have to pay attention to. And what should be in a short term investment, what should be in a mid term investment, like examples of investment, and then what should be in a long term investment. And the way that one works is you look at it together with goals. So let me give an example. You have a child who is going to college in 4 years, right? Yes, is midterm because midterm is between um so 0 to 1 is short term, right? So 1 to 5. So let's say from month 13 to 5 is midterm. So yes. So that period, so you're tying that goal like, oh, this person is going to college. How much is school fees as of now? Let's say school fees is 30,000, depending on where you're going, in state, out of state, international. Think of that, right? And then ask yourself, how much do I need to set aside now to be able to meet that goal? Let's say it's 30,000 and I have just 10. It means I have 20 to go. How much do, let's even say without interest first, how much do I need to put aside every month between now and that 3 years for me to be able to make? Because you don't want that time to come, and we all trust God though, but what's our plan? Even what are we praying about? Are we, like, oh God, I want you to raise, this amount by the time my child is going to this school. And so when you do that math of, and I can, there are templates online that you can use to know that, oh yes, go ahead. Mm. Pounds, yes. Why is it that expensive? No, but that's how to do your goals. Otherwise, but that's it. That is it. You've just summarized it. That's how goals work. And that's how investing works. You work backwards, Otherwise, when you get there, God will not allow us, I mean, people are in need, but you then start looking for family who have also, they didn't plan you into this equation. So you come and disrupt their own thing too at that time. I know that we are African, we do all of that, but it's also a very inconveniencing for people, for something that we could have planned for, right? You know. No, I'm being dead. I'm being dead. Oh my God. Mhm. Mhm. Money moves, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, realistic, yeah. Mm. And it will be good for us to go around to share your experiences, because I've always said something, or I've always believed in shared experiences. You gain a lot more. It's just like when we do like Super Diva, somebody comes and talks about, you get perspective. It could be like, oh, I made a good money move. This is my experience. Or like I shared earlier, I made a stupid money move and this is my experience, right? You
Yeah.
know?
I sorry, I wanted to say
Mm,
something about shared experience because it's what we don't do a lot as a
mm,
people outside Nigeria. And I don't want to bring it here because every time I bring it up, it ends up in another, it's like I'm going off track. But however, if you study the Asians and the Jews abroad, they do so well
yeah.
because they share experiences, they share their knowledge. There's something about us that we're not confident to share. Like if I know something that can give you money, I
Mm,
don't know why I wouldn't share with Diva more. The reluctance from black people to say, "Oh, I'm going to show you the way." When they say, "How did you do?" It?" Say it's God. I'm like, I know it's God, but how can you go into the nitty gritty? We don't do that as
mm,
Asian. They share this knowledge, and apart from the fact that we allowed people where we now go and share it on Telegram or wherever we share it, that's not necessary. The Indians and the Jews know how to do that amongst themselves as a people, and they do that. But as Nigerians or as maybe black people, we hold back on the success story and we say, "Oh, it's God, oh, just pray." How did you do it? There's like in UK, there are grants, there are different things that the government makes available for people. Now, one of us, we know that, and instead of you to share it with the other people, you be like, ah, otu, 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 then look back me. But it's not even yours. Like, show people the way. We don't do that as a people, and it upsets me a lot. But I like to say it whenever I have an audience that we should do more than just saying it's God. We should do more and really show concern. We pray a lot. We go to clubs where we pray. We say, oh, we are one people, we are sisters. However, when one person sees the way, in most cases they hold that information back, maybe due to the fact that some people go on Instagram and start making it a wrong news. But if you know your circle so well, you
mhm.
should be able to share your success with them,
Yeah.
not not lose
You're
share.
really breaking that table. Shatter it very well, sis. Shatter it. And this thing you've touched on here, I don't know how many of us on the group live in the diaspora. It's a very, very key thing. And I say that because let me give us something to think about, because this is something I've been saying a lot in my cycle. And one thing is our children, because I have a daughter, she's in year two of school, right? Of college. And she's trying to get internship, right? How many Nigerian doctors or Nigerian establishment do I have around me to be able to put my child? So if we are not focused on people putting people that look like us in places, so I give myself as an example. I work in a bank, and I remember when I got into that bank, I brought like five different CVs of Nigerians that we have the same profession. And my boss said something. She was like, "Oh my God, these Nigerians, they are so smart and they are so cheap." I cut it. Yes,
Mm,
we are so cheap because we all come with big, big certification. Some of us have done three masters. Who come? We have to like sometimes take a dip before you start lifting again. And They've seen how smart we are. But if we have people, a whole lot of people that look like us, that we know ourselves, that will believe in us, then it is easier. Like I
That,
was announcing in a platform this month that, oh, they said bring your kids to work, right? So I was announcing that, oh, my organization is saying bring your kids to work with part of the curriculum for a
yeah,
certain grade. So if anybody's child is interested in banking, let me know, so that I can register them and then I can take them to work with me. The truth is, when you go to organizations where you're seeing Asians like Diva, they put themselves there.
yeah.
They put themselves there. But we, is as if we are competing. Why do
We are always,
we?
there's this subtle that Mulati Juelo.
Yes,
I
because let's
can't
think of
get
these
subtle,
children, no, because
but
now
we
we
need to
need
just
places for our children to go into. Who are
exactly,
you going to call? It's not
exactly,
your sister you're supposed to call Divanike, oh, mommy, oh, this one, or my child, oh, this. Do you get? So please, oh,
yeah,
food for thought. This thing you read on there
yeah.
is a serious pain point.
Uh,
Serious pain point. Because
right,
you see smart Nigerian children.
yeah.
Let me see what the comments say. It's a Nigerian spirit, but we can do it positively. I don't know how to explain it. But it's
Must and
sad
that,
because now it's like it's hindering our growth. You will hear somebody come new. So I belong to an organization called Black Female Accountant. And what we do is that if you are accountant trade internationally black, so in Africa, and then you come or in the Caribbean, and then you come here, we'll help you to get the equivalent here. And then we partner with organizations to help you get a job, right? And you will be shocked. Oh my God. You will be shocked at how people are like, oh my God, so people can do this. I'm like, no, we're not doing it for ourselves. Oh. We are doing it for the generations to come. Because if we don't put those people there, these children will never be able to cut one level of it's like we cannot do some sort of jobs because we never skill up to that. Even when we skill up to that, we still not. They say we have plenty of certification. We don't have what's the word they say, but we don't get the job.
yeah.
Let me
Sorry to
stop there because
cut
the thing is pinching me.
you have to go. However, I met someone who was born and raised here. I was speaking to her this week, and she said, "Oh, Wendy, I never realized that as a black woman I can have money until I grew up and saw other black women
Mhm.
have money." And she grew up here, so it's just the kind of way that,
Ah,
and like you said, the change has to happen from us. It has to happen. We have to start changing the narrative for the sake of our children. So. When I told her, I'm like, how do you mean? She said, yeah, I just thought that you just finished work and she went to school, she went to uni, but she did not see herself being a financially
mhm,
independent woman. It's
mhm.
because of this baby circle or all these things I'm saying about Africans keeping that success story to a certain class and not letting it spread all around. We're not in a competition with anybody. We should just try and help each other in the right way.
Or even monetizing it. People, I see people on Instagram now, they will tell you, you pay.
You pay for
Look
everything.
at this sister that just put it in the comment. Diva Adebola said that she asked somebody, and the person said, you have to pay. Oh, this is where I'm eating from. Are you for real? It's to make money. Are you book? Lolo?
Jésù gbà mí.
Actually, okay. Mm, mm.
Wow.
That
Yeah. God have mercy. And that's why they are making money. Even some of them that claim that it's something they are doing to make money. Maybe because I've also realized that all these ones that people will say, oh, I'm teaching you, is that your registration money that they are actually using to make the money? Oh.
We need to also look at it. Oh,
Okay,
right
okay,
now. Okay.
okay. Don't worry, we'll continue later. A pleasure
Mhm.
connecting with you all.
Thank
Same
you, Diva
here.
Adebola.
Thank
God bless you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, sisters.
thank you.